So Arthur Smith cussed out Dennis Allen after the New Orleans Saints killed them in a blowout game. And he got mad because New Orleans wanted to give Jamal Williams one more touchdown before the game ended. The final game of the regular season, they wanted to see their teammate score one more time, and he got upset with it. And then he goes to talk to Dennis Allen after the game, cussed him out, said, "That's bullshit. That's bullshit." Here's the thing, Arthur Smith. If you don't like it, guess what? Don't allow it to happen. You see, after I saw that, I knew Arthur Smith was going to get fired. I already saw the writing off the wall. This dude is a loser. Straight up. Who cares about sportsmanship? Miss me with that whole sportsmanship thing. The game isn't over until the final whistle blows. Therefore, the team still has the right to score a touchdown until the game ends. You can't get mad at a team for continuing to score when you still got time left on the clock. They're just doing what any other team should do. Play until the final whistle blows. Playing through the whistle. Not letting up on their opponents. So when Arthur Smith cussed out Dennis Allen after the game, I already knew he was about to get fired. You see, he cussed out Dennis Allen because he knew what was about to happen. He knew that his job was pretty much over. He knew he was about to get that Vince McMahon special. Y'all ready? You're fired! Like, I can't believe this dude really had the audacity to cuss out Dennis Allen, all because he wanted to get another touchdown. And it wasn't even his fault. Like, the players said that they were the ones who decided to give Jamal Williams that touchdown. They didn't listen to what Dennis Allen said. Like, Jameis Winston after the game said that what difference does them scoring one more touchdown do to the game? Like, it's still a blowout. You still got your ass kicked. So rather if you scored the touchdown or not, it still was an embarrassing loss. And it's no surprise that Arthur Smith is getting fired, because anytime you have a dude who uses his 3 first-round picks as decoys, you know this dude doesn't know what the hell he's doing as an offensive-minded coach. You see, Arthur Smith is the NFL's modern-day equivalent to Jeff Fisher, but a lot worse. Instead of being able to go 8-8, the best this dude can do is go 7-10. And there were a lot of Falcons fans that were really optimistic about how good this team could be coming into this season. And they were let down because they had a head coach who didn't want to give his best players the ball, who wanted to, instead of going after Lamar Jackson, say, "Nah, we're good off Lamar Jackson because we got Desmond Ridder." Look where that got you. Absolutely nowhere. You could even win the weakest division in the NFL. You let Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles win this division for the second straight year in a row. If I'm Jim Harbaugh, or I'm the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions, Ben Johnson, you know, I'm looking at this Falcons job and I'm saying, man, F going to the Raiders or the Bears. Like, I'm trying to get down to the A. If the right head coach goes to Atlanta, they could automatically, in one offseason, become a contender in the NFC. You got Drake London, Kyle Pitts, B. John Robinson. Your defense is pretty good. You should bring back your defensive coordinator. Whoever's the new head coach, their owner, or the owner of the Falcons, he should force them to keep the defensive coordinator that they had this season, because he did a really good job. Like, the defense wasn't bad. It was bad late in the season because the offense just stunk. And you have to come and bail out Desmond Ridder for all of his millions of idiotic turnovers. Arthur Smith, what I'm going to remember him for in this stint with the Atlanta Falcons is using his best players as decoys. Like, how the hell are you an offensive-minded coach and you just want to use your 3 first-round picks as decoys? You don't want to try to find creative ways to get them the ball. Doesn't that defeat the purpose of drafting them in the first round? Like, you got people who think Kyle Pitts is a bust because Arthur Smith doesn't know how to get him the ball. It's not that hard to give Kyle Pitts touches. You can literally put this dude anywhere on the field. He can play wide receiver. You can put him in the slot. You can keep him as a tight end. You can move him to H-back. If you're a creative offensive coordinator and you're eyeing this Falcons head coaching job, it should be really intriguing to you because there are a lot of weapons. You got a lot of toys to play with that were underutilized by Arthur Smith. And the fact that his tenure had to end with him cussing out Dennis Allen, I think is a fitting way for him to go out. Like, Dennis Allen, this dude was like, whoa, bro, like, why are you so upset? Like, my bad. And then you got Dennis Allen coming back saying, that's not who we are. Like, no, Dennis Allen, no, play through the whistle. F sportsmanship. I get tired of people crying about sportsmanship. Like, I'm trying to win. I'm not trying to put my foot off the gas until the refs say the game is over and the final score gets submitted and, finalized. Like, I could give a damn about how the other players feel about me running it up. I remember one time when I was playing middle school ball, we got blown out like 58-3 against one of the best middle school teams in the history of Jacksonville. And I ain't hear nobody yelling at them for sportsmanship when they were scoring 3 more touchdowns with only like 3 minutes left in the game. So miss me with all that sportsmanship talk, bro. Like, who cares? If you got a problem with the other team scoring on you, guess what you should do? Stop it. It's simple. If you don't like it, stop it. I'm glad that Arthur Smith is out of Atlanta now. I don't wish any coach to get fired, but when you have this amount of talent on offense and you do nothing with it, instead of trying to use them as decoys, you deserve to lose your job. It shouldn't have been hard to have success in Atlanta. Arthur Smith had plenty of time to turn this thing around. He decided to get rid of Matt Ryan, the best quarterback in Falcons history, and replace him with Marcus Mariota. And look where that got him. Nowhere. He decides to say, nah, we don't need Lamar Jackson. We're good with Desmond Ridder. And look where that got him. Nowhere. This dude cussed out Dennis Allen because he knew that his job was pretty much in question. He knew that he wasn't coming back. So he cussed him out, not because of the Saints scoring, but because of frustration. He needed somebody to take all that pent out anger on because he knew that this was going to be his final time coaching the Falcons. Like, I'm pretty sure he's a good guy off the field. He seems pretty likable. I was listening to him when he was getting interviewed constantly on the Netflix quarterback docuseries when they were following Marcus Mariota. Like, he's like a cool head coach. But when it comes to calling the offense, I don't know what the hell this dude was thinking. What was the point of drafting B. John Robinson in the first round if you're not going to utilize him as a wide receiver? What's the point of drafting Drake London and Kyle Pitts if you're not going to find creative ways to get them involved in the offense and if you're not going to give them a quarterback that's competent enough to throw them accurate passes? Like, you really went with Desmond Ridder, fam? That's what you wanted to throw out there with your job on the line this season? And then you're playing musical chairs going from Desmond Ridder to Taylor Heineke back to Desmond Ridder, bro. Like, make up your damn mind. Make up your mind. You see, when you miss on the quarterback position and you're okay with mediocrity or you're okay with a game manager at QB, this is what you get. You get Arthur Smith. When you have somebody who is a game manager who chooses to be conservative, of course you're going to have a hard time getting your playmakers the ball, such as Kyle Pitts and Drake London, because Desmond Ridder isn't that good of a QB. He throws a lot of checkdowns. He may take a couple of shots downfield here or there. If there's a busted coverage, he may be able to get the ball to him. But for the most part, this dude struggles to make good decisions with the football. He turns the ball over constantly, especially when you get inside the red zone. And even when he does have a good game, he's still giving it up to the other team. Anytime you're playing Desmond Ridder, it's like Christmas, bro, because he's like Santa. He's constantly giving you additional help with all his crazy turnovers, all his stupid decisions, all his fumbles, all his interceptions. Like, Arthur Smith was a really good offensive coordinator under Mike Vrabel with the Tennessee Titans. He goes to Atlanta, and you think that you have this innovative offensive guy as your head coach, when all you really had was somebody who just wanted to use his best players as decoys. Sometimes he'll try to get a little bit fancy with it. There was one game I was watching when he threw a tight end pass with Jonnu Smith, and it didn't go nowhere. Like, I never thought that Arthur Smith was ever going to work out as the head coach in Atlanta. Only because he was the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. I'm like, bro, like the Tennessee Titans run one of the most basic offenses in the NFL. All it is give it to Derrick Henry and throw the football when need be with Ryan Tannehill. That was it. It was never anything special about Arthur Smith. He was never going to be the next Sean McVay. He was never going to be the next Kyle Shanahan. There was nothing about his offense that was cutting edge or innovative. Like, you had all these positionless players that people were hyping up. Cordell Patterson playing the joker position. What about Cordell Patterson and his skill set was unique to this Falcons offense? Oh, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can play a little bit of receiver. He can do all kinds of things. You can line him up anywhere. Did we ever see Cordell Patterson utilized uniquely by Arthur Smith? No. Only thing they do is put him at running back. I don't remember watching too many Falcons games this year, and I watched a good amount of them because I had Bijan Robinson on my fantasy team, and I never really saw Cordell Patterson lining up anywhere else outside of running back. Like, it makes no sense. You got Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson, and Cordell Patterson. You would think that you would try to use Cordell Patterson more in the slot, but that just goes to show you that Arthur Smith was just a little bit overhyped. People get these offensive-minded head coaches and they think that, we gotta do what's a good OC. He's gonna be able to do a lot of innovative things with this offense. Like, there was never anything that Arthur Smith ever did with the Tennessee Titans that was cutting edge or innovative. You know, like, I'm glad that this dude is out of Atlanta. He didn't deserve an extra year. I know you're going to get some of the Falcons fans who say, man, I'm tired of always having a new head coach. Well, that's just what comes with the sport. When you have a head coach who can't win games, guess what happens? You get fired. It's just like me and you when we go to work. We don't get the job done. Guess what happens? We get fired. You never hear our boss talking about how, man, I'm tired of firing employees. I'm tired of always having to replace guys. Like, that's just how life works. If you can't get something done right, guess what your boss is going to do? Find somebody else who can. You got to keep firing head coaches until you find the right guy. Arthur Smith wasn't it. And as soon as I saw him cussing out Dennis Allen after the game, I knew his ass was out of there. I knew it. There was no way you could bring this fool back, man. What an embarrassment. You're going to underutilize Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London. You're going to go with Desmond Ridder when you had a chance to get Lamar Jackson? This dude deserved to get fired, man. He just wasn't a good offensive-minded coach. The offense never looked anything cutting edge. It never looked special. And the majority of games they won this season, it was because of how well the defense played. They should have been fired Arthur Smith. They should have fired this dude around week 10, week 11, and let the defensive coordinator have taken over as the interim head coach, and maybe they would have won a couple of more games. Like, bro, this dude really thought that Desmond Ridder was going to be the future at quarterback. This is what happens when you're okay with mid at quarterback. Desmond Ridder is the definition of mid. This is who this dude really chose to rock with this season. Like, he really went out there and replaced Matt Ryan, a borderline Hall of Famer, with Marcus Mariota. Like, are you serious? And him cussing out Dennis Allen pretty much was the cherry on top of the cake. I knew once I saw that happen post-game, he was out of there.